Hello there.
My debut match on SmackDown is going to be against Shinsuke Nakamura because this fat virgin wanted to see a strong style match. I make my entrance in my brand new blue attire and I win the match when I put Nakamura to sleep. Elias is talking shit about me on social media, so I threaten him with some friendly violence. I attack Elias during one of his terrible concerts and I jam his guitar right at his throat to stop his singing career as a whole. I have a match with Elias where I win by forcing Elias to tap out to a rear naked choke. After I defeat Elias, he's still talking shit online, so I challenge him to a no DQ match at the pay-per-view. I proceed to beat up Elias harder than he did after 10 cans of Stella and I get the win after putting Elias to sleep. This woman is back again for some more you know what. Randy Orton starts making fun of the indies and especially me, so he makes a threat to my teacher, Booker T. At the next pay-per-view, Booker T is doing commentary and Randy Orton delivers an RKO from out of nowhere to Booker T. This was racially motivated by Randy Orton. I then get a bit of payback for Booker T by attacking Randy Orton before his match against Rey Mysterio, and then challenge Randy Orton to a Falls Count Anywhere match at an indie show. I'm not sure how we would have gotten WWE management to agree to this match being on an indie show because we're both WWE superstars, neither of us are an indie wrestler. Anyway, I of course defeat Randy Orton at the indie show because no one can stop the legendary SK Storm, not even the Legend Killer. Randy Orton then challenges me to a best of 3 match and I accept because I'm not a little pussy. I defeat Randy Orton with a go to sleep and a burning hammer. I then agree to have a match with Rey Mysterio because who knows when Mr. Booyaka 6'9" is gonna retire. So I have a good match against Rey Mysterio where I obviously win. Although he has the height advantage of being 6'9", I am David to his Goliath. I then tell Rey Mysterio that Eddie Guerrero would see him as a disappointment.
You're a fucking disappointment.
I then make my entrance to my next match imitating Eddie Guerrero as either a show of respect or disrespect depending on how you see it. After I win my match, Rey Mysterio tells me to return Eddie's lowrider or else, so I tell Mr. Booyaka 6'9" to do something about it.
What, you gonna do something about it? What you gonna do?
I'll do something about it.
Well, do something then.
Mr. Booyaka 6'9" does indeed proceed to do something about it. Rey Mysterio then hits the bulldog on me so hard that I become schizophrenic and start seeing Eddie Guerrero. SK Storm should get medically checked for schizophrenia after this schizophrenic encounter with Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero then hits a frog splash on me from the top of an ambulance, shattering my entire ribcage like they were the Twin Towers on September 11. I then wake up to Mr. Booyaka 6'9" driving away in Eddie's lowrider. So was Eddie even really there to begin with?
Did he disappear? Or was he never there to begin with?
After the schizophrenic Eddie Guerrero encounter, I agree to have a best of 3 match with Rey Mysterio. Although Rey Mysterio is 6'9", I get the best of him in this 2 out of 3 falls match. Coincidentally, I accept the opportunity to take part in the King of the Ring tournament and my qualifying match is against Rey's son, Dominic Mysterio. I beat Dominic Mysterio within an inch of his life. My first opponent in the King of the Ring tournament is Apollo Crews, who I quickly defeat because my penis is bigger. I then call out my next opponent, Matt Riddle, and he calls himself a stallion, but then I remind him that he's a cock pussy ass loving slut.
I need a cock pussy ass loving slut like me.
I then beat the fuck out of the sexually abusive stoner to further advance in the King of the Ring tournament. My replacement opponent for the King of the Ring final is none other than Randy Orton. Randy gets a bit cocky like Riddle's sexual preference, but even though Randy Orton is fresher than me, I still come out on top to be crowned King of the Ring. Baron Corbin is a little soy bitch because I become King of the Ring, so before our match, Sheamus attacks me from behind. I challenge Corbin and Sheamus to a tag team match filled with kings, where my partner is none other than King Booker. King Storm and King Booker are obviously the superior kings in this tag match, so we of course win the tag match. I then face Corbin in the final match, which is a no DQ match, meaning that I get to beat the crap out of him like I was his dad after a couple cans of Stella. I then talk to Paragon, who wants me to get involved with him and Nakamura against Big E so that I can somehow help him win the Intercontinental title. I proceed to attack Big E in the ring, and this was of course racially motivated to a degree. Big E then challenges us to a 2-on-3 handicap match where his mystery partner is none other than Mr. Sexy Boy Shawn Michaels. I get the win for my team after I put Old Man Shawn to sleep. After the match, Big E challenges me to a one-on-one match where I get him to put his Intercontinental title on the line. SK Storm is your new Intercontinental Champion after he puts Big E to sleep for the 3 count. I then give Paragon a shot at my new Intercontinental Championship, and I guess his plan to become champion was through me, but I obviously retain because I still have a bigger penis than Paragon. I then have a choice to either face Big E in a Hell in a Cell match or a Fatal 4-Way against Big E, Paragon and Nakamura. I of course choose Hell in a Cell. At Hell in a Cell, I was feeling very racist and I tried to kill Big E. I then get involved in some stuff against Riddle, which I don't really care that much to edit because Matt Riddle is a sexual predator.
I need a cock, pussy, ass loving slut like me.
Jimmy Uso is injured, so Adam Pearce wants me to become Naomi's replacement partner for the Mixed Match Challenge. First we defeat The Miz and Maurice, and then we defeat Paragon J. Pearce and Josie Jane. And then finally we defeat Nakamura and Asuka to win the Mixed Match Challenge, where we get to become the general managers for one night, so I give myself a universal title shot. I'm close to winning the match, but Jimmy Uso interferes and causes me to lose because he's a jealous little bitch after I hugged Naomi after winning the Mixed Match Challenge, so I beat the fuck out of Jimmy Uso in the match. I have some unfinished business with Jeff Hardy from NXT, so we have a match against each other, which I obviously win. Jeff Hardy wants another match and allows me to pick what kind of match we have, so I choose a Falls Count Anywhere match. Me and Jeff Hardy brawl in the crowd for a bit before I eventually get the win as expected. Drew Gulak then wants to be my mentor, even though I'm the Intercontinental Champion and I'm pretty sure he hasn't won any championships in the WWE. So this makes about as much sense as the United States invading Middle Eastern countries for no reason other than oil. Drew Gulak then puts me through a bunch of bullshit tests and I pass all of them with ease. I then win a tag team match teaming with Gulak, and he's such a little bitch because he attacked me after the match out of jealousy for my achievements. Gulak then challenges me to a match with his own rules, so I accept the match and he cheats when the referee is out, but I still win because Drew Gulak is a jobber. Dana Brooke wants me to raw dog her to make her partner Bobby Lashley jealous. I then get involved in some stuff with Sami Zayn, and his voice lines sound like they were recorded on my old headset that I used to make my videos with.
Likeable, Intercontinental Champion, or former in my case. You just need that extra push to get you to the next level.
Sami Zayn then manages me in my next match against Chad Gable, where he helps me escape a pinfall by Chad Gable. Sami Zayn then tells me that he's not going to be here next week because he's going to be getting his wisdom tooth taken out, and that I'll be facing a wrestler called El Ordinario. If you know enough about Sami Zayn's career before WWE, he used to be called El Generico, so I thought El Ordinario was Sami Zayn in a mask again. But plot twist, Sami Zayn wasn't actually El Ordinario. So I win the match, and then later on, after my next match, Sami Zayn attacks me and demands an Intercontinental title match. I make quick work of Sami Zayn because I'm the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep me down. Sami Zayn then makes up a bullshit excuse for losing, so I give him a rematch under Extreme Rules, where I beat him like a virgin beats his meat 5 times a day. I then accept a qualifying match for the Money in the Bank ladder match, where I have to defeat Corbin, which is no problem at all.
No problem, mate, yeah? No fucking problem.
I then have to take part in a 6-man tag consisting of everyone involved in the ladder match, but I skip that shit by getting disqualified. Paragon J. Pearce wants to make a temporary truce in the ladder match, and against my better judgment, I accept the truce. There were several different occasions during the ladder match where I was figuratively shitting myself because I didn't really want to do the match from the start all over again, but nevertheless I won the ladder match with my unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability. I then talked to Kayla Braxton about how I'm going to celebrate tonight by shoving my 7 erect inches down her throat. I then have my match against the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and I'm close to winning the Universal Championship until Kevin Owens comes in to cash in his Money in the Bank from last year. Adam Pearce tells me that there's a technicality for Kevin Owens cashing in being legal because he was injured, so he had more time to cash in. I then have to defeat Roman Reigns for a shot against Kevin Owens for the Universal title, which I win of course. I then faced Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship that I was supposed to win, and I am crowned the new Universal Champion. I then decided to defend my new Universal Championship against Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens at SummerSlam in a triple threat. This is also my first SummerSlam, so this should be fun. Anyway, my unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability gets me the win here in this triple threat match. Edge now wants to go after my Universal Championship and I tell him to get in line. Adam Pearce is like, hey, I saw you and Edge have some beef on social media. He's going to be your next opponent for your title. After I successfully defend my title against Sheamus, I make a joke to Adam Pearce about making me defend my title twice in one night, and the dumb fuck actually does that. The match goes well for me until the referee is out and I try to take advantage by hitting Edge with a steel chair, but Adam Pearce comes in like, no, don't hurt my puppy. Edge gets the spear when I get back in the ring, and Adam Pearce does an illegal quick count to declare Edge as the Universal Champion. Edge is celebrating on social media and I point out how he was handed the win by Adam Pearce. Edge is celebrating his handed victory of the Universal Championship and I force Edge to give me my rematch by assaulting his sugar daddy. Edge is like, no, don't hurt my sugar daddy. And I'm like, fuck you, get good fam, skill issue. Before my rematch with Edge, Adam Pearce confirms that I am a threat to WWE management, so if I lose, I'm leaving SmackDown, which I see as a compliment because I am a danger to society. I make sure to lay down a beating to Old Man Edge to become a 2-time Universal Champion. My losing stipulation didn't mean anything because Vince McMahon classes me as a top star who's able to freely switch between brands. I arrive on Monday Night Raw, ready to raw dog Mandy Rose in the GM's office.